By now, most of you have probably heard about the weird publicity stunt in which a Democrat candidate for Senate tried to prove his muster when it comes to convincing gun owners to vote for him by going to a gun range and then accidentally shooting a reporter. It was all over the internet, and so that's why I didn't cover it. But more information has come out that not only was the campaign photo op very misguided, but it seems that the guy who set up the range they were using and brought some of the guns is actually a felon. Whoops. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. There are a few cardinal rules of gun safety. For example, finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Always know your target and what's behind it. Try not to shoot the guy taking your photos for the campaign trail, and don't break the law when you're a politician stumping for votes by trying to prove how much of a responsible gun owner you are. You know, just everyday things. But before we get into the newest details of this story, and boy are they fun, this video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout is a family-owned and operated coffee roaster based in sunny Florida and built on traditional values. They have been a supporter of this channel for a long time and have supported your Second Amendment rights for even longer. They have amazing coffees, teas, and hot chocolate, and even have specialty partner roasts that donate directly to some of your favorite gun rights groups. So to get a cup of coffee, tea, or again, hot chocolate that you can be proud of, go to blackoutcoffee.com/LibertyDoll and use code LibertyDoll, one word, for a one-time 20% discount. All right, folks, for those not familiar with the initial story, here is the short version. In an effort to try and convince the fuzz in Missouri that voting in a Democrat would somehow protect their gun rights, candidate Lucas Kunce decided to demonstrate common sense gun safety, I can't even say that with a straight face, and gun owner relatability by heading down to a backyard range with former Illinois rep and never-Trumper, rhino gun grabber, Adam Kinzinger. Kinzinger notably somehow got elected with an A rating from the NRA at some point, despite the fact that he has since been very vocal about gun control, voted for Biden's gun control bill, and has supported assault weapons bans. Excellent way to show your support for Second Amendment rights is hooking your wagon to this guy. He didn't go for re-election in 2022 and went instead to CNN, so that tells us some things. And apparently he and Kunce are biffles or something. So he and Kunce decided to use an AR to shoot steel targets with no backstop from about 10 yards away, confirmed by the police report, for some super cool photos. And when Kunce took a shot, a bullet fragment ricocheted off said targets and embedded itself in the arm of one of the reporters there to document how super pro-2A this Democrat is. Also, there was tannerite on the table, which holy f***, imagine what would have happened if they had used that at 10 yards. Anyways, Kunce tried to then spin it as an example of heroism and preparedness in how he immediately gave first aid and used a belt for a tourniquet. Safety first, he said. Kunce, by the way, spent 13 years in the Marines and somehow didn't know better, despite a 2021 tweet saying that he didn't need to shoot guns to prove his masculinity, and sarcastically offered the McCloskeys a Marine-led weapons safety training that shoots ARs without a backstop at steel targets at 10 yards. With tannerite just hanging out. That was bad enough, but the Kansas City Star did some digging and found out some other questionable details beyond just a flat-out disregard for safety. The range, for example, was set up on private property. Kunce claimed that it was set up and ran by an NRA training counselor. Kunce has refused to give that training counselor's name. Remember this fun detail for later. It's a nice little plot twist later on. But there was a man there who claimed to have set it up, owned the targets and some of the guns, and he was named Chad Everett Downs. He even told reporters that the range was his, the guns were his, and that a neighbor allowed him to keep his range on that property and that he frequently shoots there. But Missouri court records show that Downs currently has 17 felony charges on his record. According to the Star, Missouri court records show that Downs was charged with 17 counts of felony perjury in August by Ray County prosecutor Camille Johnston. He has been issued a criminal summons and waived his preliminary hearing. His ex-wife, in a court filing earlier this month, alleged the man owns or has access to guns in violation of his bond conditions. The felony allegations of perjury involve statements Downs made in a felony child abuse case. Now, the child abuse case has been dismissed, but the 17 perjury charges are still floating around. When the Star tried to get more information and identified themselves as reporters, voices in the background told the clerk not to speak because it wasn't an open record. Now, Josh Hawley, Kunce's opponent, posted on X about it, and someone in the comments pointed out that Downs is the same man in this article, who was also arrested on 4 felony charges back in 2015. Those charges were armed criminal action, assault or attempted assault, possession of marijuana, and unlawful use of a loaded weapon while intoxicated. Even better, the Daily Caller somehow got a hold of private Facebook group messages from this guy who, when asked if he was the same Chad Downs in the photos of the event, said, "Yeah, those dudes were told where to stand, they didn't listen." Downs also said, "When you shoot steel, you always get frag. I've been hit probably 250 times." When someone said, "Hey, everyone should be on the correct side of the firing line," Downs denied this and sarcastically called the user a Navy SEAL. He then went on to say, "I just gave them a place to shoot, told them what I thought, then they did what they wanted to. Do you know someone who's been killed by a small fragment?" And, this winning example of firearm safety, according to his Facebook page, is an NRA training counselor. My guess would be that he is the same unnamed NRA training counselor who apparently ignored and did not enforce proper gun safety. Recorded on camera for the news. And that's on top of the fact that a man with 4 previous felony charges and 17 current felony charges bragged to the local media about being a felon in possession while rubbing elbows with his political buddies, and potentially also just threw his neighbor under the bus for providing a range and allowing a felon in possession to use guns on his property. That is so stupid. This is the political circus that the United States has become. Whether you agree with felon in possession restrictions or not, all of this is very ironic for a couple politicians who say that we need more gun laws to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. Like felons. Kunce has refused to comment on it. When asked if he told the police, like he was supposed to as required by Missouri state law, he refused to comment on that too, but we did later learn that he did file a police report an entire day later. No charges have been filed. Downs said that he would only give comment if the media outlets gave him $5,000. He also says that he has a video taken to prove his innocence, but also will only show that to news outlets for an additional $5,000. Which, for some reason, is just really giving me Trailer Park Boys vibes. I don't know why. All you need is, like, some guy in a black t-shirt in the background with, like, an open glass of, like, rum or whiskey or something. It would be perfect. Anyways, that is it for today's video. It really should not be this funny. I should not be laughing at these horrible choices, but it's so ridiculous. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I don't want to say hopefully you laughed at it, because again, it shouldn't be funny, but here we are. Here we are. I doubt this guy's going to be elected. I can tell you that much. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Drop a comment down below. Just for funsies. And as always, folks, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Safer than these guys. And happy shooting.